არსებობის მაჩვენებლები არათანაბარი განაწილებით ხასიათებიან, რაც კორელაციაში გაფიქსირდა ბუკალური უჯრედების რაოდენობრივი ცვლილებების კორელაცია თანხლებაში, კი ბატონო. Რაც что свидетельствует которые свидетельствуют о хромосомных повреждениях в выявленных популяциях, подвергающихся воздействию различных мутагенных и канцерогенных химических или физических агентов.
I don't know, she's talking in Georgian.
She didn't let me.
Статистически значимые изменения частоты
микроядерных
контролем отмечается при ряде химических воспалительных заболеваний и особенностей у онкологических пациентов и предраковых состояниях. მიღებული შედეგების ინტერპრეტაციის შეიძლება ვივარაუდოთ გარკვეული ამოწმოვი ტოქსიკური ფაქტორების არსებობა. რატომ თქვენია?
აქედან არ გამოდის რა.
She's talking to someone. She's busy with talking to someone.
Redox-თან რა შოაში?
What she said? I'm waiting for all your students.
და redox-ის შედეგი ну кай, машин, кай. მე და кай. და ну შენ არიცი გია და მე კაი გია მოდი ახლა მე ლექცია დავირ კაი მაშინ ну აბა რაზე ვლაპარაკობ შენ რო ამას მე სად ახლა ადამიანი რომელიც მეტყვის სად არის ინტერლეიკინი და სად არის რედოქსი რედოქსი არის ინტერლეიკინები და რედოქსი კაკრას ძალიან ანთების მარკერები
ხო და ანტიკორელაცია გაქვს
არ მინდა რატო ხო გავიგე არ გესმის გია ბოლომდე არ გესმის გია ბოლომდე არ გესმის
შენ ხო გესმის და
ხო და მესმის და მე დაწერე სტატია და მომიტანებს მორჩა ეხლა მე ლექცია ბოდი
არა შენთან გიახელი რომ განვიხილო
ახლა მე შენთან სახში ვერ გეახლები და ბერიტაშვილში დამიბარე მაშინ და მოვა
she's fighting
და იმიტომ მოვედი რომ
სახში ვერ მოვალ შენთან საზონაში გიხსნი და გეუბნები რომ არაფერია იმიტომ ну ურთხავს ხო სანეკიძე შტერია და გია ურთხავს თავში ხალხს მადლობა
I don't know
მადლობა იცი რა გია უკვე
they speaking in Georgian
აღარ მინდა არაფერი საერთოდ
დიდი ხანია არაფერი
ხო და იმიტომ რომ აღარ მინდა შენი ისტერიკები და შენი თავში
აი რა ისტერიკები და
ლექცია მაგ ხო კაი უკაცრავად ну მე ხო გია იქ ჩვენ წუთი და მე ვიცკებ ლექცია
shit she's pissed
Is she speaking? Or she's muted?
She muted herself. She's firing now.
She's screaming her ass out, man. Dude, she's pissed. Oh my god.
She is so pissed. Yo, she woke up from her seat.
Yeah, I saw that. Send the link in group 8.
Why?
I don't think they've got one.
No, they got it. She's not letting
any of the groups.
It's there in the TSMU group. They sent it in the TSMU group.
No.
Yes, I joined through the TSMU group, man.
Oh my god, dude, she's pissed.
She is so pissed. She's angry and she's shouting. Oh my god, I don't want to join this lecture.
Yeah. What if she's talking to us but forgot she's muted?
No, she's not talking to us. She's not even sitting there. Oh, she is. No, she's shouting. You can see that. Her shouts are there.
სიტყვაში მომიგე და იმაში
სიტყვაში მოგიგე. რაში მოგიგე არ გესმის და თავში თქმებას ხელით თავი დაანებე. იქ შენ თანამშრომლებში ურტყი ხელი. Guy, okay. So nobody will come again more. Okay. არავისთან არ მიყვირია არასოდეს და რაც მოვა იმდენი ყვირილი გამოდის ჩემი ოთახიდან. დაი, არ შეგმევის ხელებს. თუ ასეთი
ჩაიხვიე რა შენა.
თუ ასეთი შტერი ვარ, გენაცვალე გზახსნილია, წადი შენ გენიოსებთან და დაჯექი. დაჯექი, შენ გენიოსებთან. გელოდები მე გადაწყვეტ გარჩეული ვარ ყველაფერი. არა, რაღაცა უნდა მათემატიკური ფორმულა გამოიყვანოს. ნუ ვერი ხარ.
შენ ცოდნას რო გინდა მოარგო, არ არის ეგრე. გუგლს მეც კითხულობ და ვიკიპედია.
კაი, შენ რო კითხულობ, შენ სხვანაირად კითხულობ.
What the fuck?
What happened? People are still joining. I'm afraid you will be like, what the fuck do you want?
Someone said she's about to release the misaligned spine.
Do you see the presentation?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. So we will continue now the magnetisms. On the last lecture, we discussed the nature of the electricity, the nature of the electric field, and nature of the magnetic field. And we discussed the main parameter which characterize magnetic field. Yes? Now we discussed the last point was the Biot-Savart-Laplace law, which explains the interaction between the magnetic fields, which will be developed in the case when we have the conductor with current. As you see, this field is decreasing in the medium with the increase of the distance from the conductor, and its direction is possible to describe according to the right-hand rule.
Dude, the sound is coming from you and from my ears.
Please answer me on my
Okay, I'll help you.
source
I'll do
of
something
the
for you.
electric field?
Yeah. Now the sound won't
What
come.
is the source of the electric field?
Now the sound won't come.
Electric charge.
Moving and non-moving. And what is the source of the magnetic field?
Yeah, better. You're recording, right?
I'm recording it. What are you doing?
Magnet.
No, you didn't study it. If you will continue so, you will have very low marks
Yeah, look. There,
and you
I'm
will
recording.
be able to go on the exam. For the lecture, you have to prepare the previous material. What is the source of the magnetic field?
Moving charge.
What are you doing?
Moving charge. Yes. So moving charges are produced in the alternating electric field.
Did he say
And
this time?
therefore, the alternating magnetic field is electric field is the source of the magnetic field. Yes, that's why it was made the
Oh my
question,
God.
alternating electric field induces the
I don't
development
find
of the
anything
magnetic
funny, guys.
field.
Stop that.
Why not the alternating magnetic
What
field
is he trying to
can
do?
induce the electric
know.
field? Is this clear?
If you read in the group, it was like maybe she's going through something. No,
Do you
it's
want to
obviously just
repeat?
that's this guy. He
So,
probably just wanted
moving
something and she
charge
was like,
is
no, I can't
a
give it to you or
source
something
of
similar.
the
It's not that deep.
alternating
Why can't we left
electric
her?
field.
She made things so
Alternating
like
field
we are
is
all
the
the
source of
oh my
the
God.
electric field.
There is a
Field
stack
is
of
the
students.
source of the magnetic field. If it's so,
But I feel like
we
he's
have
trying to
to
point out that what if
check,
it's her personal
is
problems and we're
the
laughing at him?
alternating magnetic field,
Okay, maybe it's
can
not.
it be
We don't
source
understand. We
of
didn't
the
understand anything
electric
she said.
field or
Yeah, and
electric
if it's a
current?
personal problem,
Is this
why
clear?
would he like?
For
He
this,
came to
it
the
was made
university
the
for a
lens
personal problem.
experiment.
Yeah,
What we have?
he
We
knows
have
she's in the
the
university.
permanent magnet.
We can't judge it, man.
Come to
We
her,
have
meet
the
her class.
permanent
She
magnet.
let him in. It's probably something university related.
We have
But for him to talk
conductor
like that,
without the current
he's in the
connected
level
to
with
the
her. You get me? It's
internet.
either another professor or maybe someone
When we have
she
the
knows.
permanent magnet, its magnetic field penetrates the frame,
Did someone reply
but
to
it is
Omar's message?
constant. Frame has the energy which is constant, and electric field in the frame is equal 0. When we begin to transportation of the displacement of the magnet towards the conductor,
Did you know it
the
was really
number
snowing
of
today?
the magnetic field's force line,
Yeah,
which
the whole place was
the
white.
frame will be increased.
The fuck, you didn't
So
even notice?
magnetic field, magnetic energy will be increased also.
It was snowing for me.
You can see
and
that
it's covered in full
ampermeter
white. Like when I woke up, everything was covered in
will
white.
be show the current. This current is directed so that it produces the magnetic field which
I told you,
is directed against the force line of the permanent magnet. This means that in the conductor develops the
I'm
current
focusing.
which is the source of the magnetic field, which tries to annihilate the increasing energy.
What are you gonna do?
If we will take
What are you gonna do?
the magnet away from the frame, in it will be
Tomorrow
developed
is a
the
Tuesday. I have to study
current
clinical
which will
anatomy
be
and communication
opposite
skills.
directed, which will be
For
support
clinical anatomy,
the
I haven't touched
magnetic
it.
field, which will be directed in the same
And the
direction
communication skills,
as
I
the
need to go through the PPTs.
magnetic field, or support the maintenance the energy of the frame. Is this clear? Maybe not clear because you did not know previous material. It is not my problem. So in this picture, you can see that the current into the conductor develops only when the magnet is moving, or the flow of the magnetic force lines penetrating the frame is changing. In this case, the lamp is lighted. When the magnet will be stopped or flow of the magnetic force lines is constant, the current in the conductor will be null. This is the Lenz's rule, who shows that the alternating magnetic field is the source of the electric field. And from this, it is the law of the electromagnetic induction, according which the
She will say it, of course. She just said it at the beginning. You'll all fail if you don't study.
Supports the development of the electromotive force in the circuit, which is
What is
source
Fatima saying? Group
of the
1 to 12? What is happening?
electric field. Is this clear? So electromotive force and therefore the electric current develops in the circuit only when the magnetic field's flux is alternating. Is this clear now? Yes or no?
Yes,
This
Professor.
is the Faraday's law of self-induction law. From this view, we have discussed now the properties, magnetic properties of the different materials. If you remember in the beginning, I discussed that the electric field is maximal in the vacuum, and in the different area, it always will be decreased by the epsilon, epsilon shows how fold the electric field in the given area is weaker in comparison to vacuum. If we will discuss the magnetic field is also can be propagated in vacuum and the other areas, but in this case, magnetic field is not maximal in vacuum. There are the magnetic permeability, mu, which can be as mu less as 1, also more as 1, and when the mu is less as 1, it means the magnetic field in the given area is less as in vacuum, and if the mu is more as 1, this means the magnetic field in the given area is more in vacuum. According to this, the materials can be, according their ability to increase or decrease the magnetic field, can be divided on the diamagnetic and paramagnetic. To explain the nature of the dia and paramagnetism, we have to remember the atomic structure. You know that the atom contains the nuclei and moving surround it electrons, yes, orbital electrons. Also, you know that the electrons are rotating around their own axis or spinning. I think you know also that the electrons has to be paired or they have to have the opposite directed spins.
Oh, yeah, she
Opposite directed spins.
Wow.
And due to this, as all moving charge is the source of the magnetic field, spinning and orbital electrons produce the magnetic fields, which vector induction is perpendicular to the area of the moving of the charge, and paired spinning charge electrons have opposite magnetic vectors, so they annihilate their spinning magnetic field. But they have their orbital electrons magnetic field. Let's introduce that we have the strong magnetic field B, and we put in this area the material. In this case, when you put some material into subject into the magnetic field in energy, the energy of this subject will be what to do? Increase or not change or decrease? Don't know. Increase. It is when you put the subject in the magnetic field. How will be change its energy? Increase. But according to the first law of thermodynamics, yes, it has to be constant, maintenance. That's why the orbital electrons will be, all orbital electrons have their magnetic field. But as the atoms and electrons are placed chaotically, they will annihilate each other. When you put the subject in the magnetic field, all its orbital electrons will be changed the area of the rotation and support the orientation of their magnetic field vector against the outer magnetic field. according to the Lenz's rule, to annihilate the change of energy, to maintenance energy. And by this way, the magnetic field in the given medium will be decreased, will be stay less as in vacuum. Is this clear?
Yeah. Is this a similar concept to what happens in a MRI when the spin is changed?
Yeah, no. Yes, but MRI it is nuclear.
Okay.
If you will interested, I will discuss this later.
Okay.
This is nuclear. We are speaking about the electrons. These materials are known as a dielectric. As all materials have the orbital electrons, the dielectric property have all elements. But you know that some elements have non-paired spins, yes? So this element will have as a orbital magnetic field also the non-paired spinning magnetic field. As the atoms are orientated chaotically, this orbital and spinning magnetic field will annihilate each other. But when you will put this material in the outer magnetic field, first of all, the orbital electrons, of course, will be directed in opposite direction and try to annihilate the change of energy, but all non-paired spinning electron will be orientated according to the outer magnetic field and will support the increase of the magnetic field. So this property is known as paramagnetics, and all materials, all elements which have non-paired magnetic electrons are known as paramagnetics. Now, what about the ferromagnetism? The ferromagnetics are the paramagnetics in solid conditions, which if they was influenced by the outer magnetic field, which once change their orientation of their spins, they cannot disorientate it due to the constant chaotic thermal motion, because they have very slow thermal motion, very slow thermal energy, and they will maintain this magnetic property or will become the permanent magnet. Is this clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. This was the end of the magnetism, and also I have to explain you the electron now how the introduction of the electromagnetic radiation. So I will repeat that, as we already noted, the magnetic and electric field source is the charge, and да, гамма джобат, гамма, да. Да. Пришлите, да, и я исправлю все и сразу же передам. Хорошо. Да, а эту английскую пока не смотрели, нет? Да. Ага, хорошо.
Sagi, are you listening to physics?
Да.
Wow.
Да, я посмотрю, все исправлю. Ага. Хо.
Yeah.
Sagi! You're listening to physics?
No.
Я
studying
это
chemistry?
все проверю. Хорошо.
Yeah. Chemistry and I might do physics now.
Хорошо.
Okay. I'm just asking because
Хорошо,
I'm seeing you in full
Ирина,
zone
если можно, официально
I was like, physics for zone mode? Nah.
Можно?
No.
Вы должны это в СЭУ послать, чтобы они
I
перечислили.
have to leave the lecture or something. I can't focus with her on the
Да,
background.
хорошо, месседжем пришли. Момцерет.
Chemistry this time is not as hard.
Хорошо.
Yeah.
Как хотите, чтобы инвойс не
The
послали бы. Хорошо.
site.
Спасибо большое.
Lately, it didn't want to work with me at all.
Okay, so
she's
we
back.
have to,
She's
so
back.
source of the electric field is moving
Okay,
charge,
please, I want
and
to check
source
my
of the
last
magnetic, no, sorry.
It was quiz
Source
4.
of the electric field is moving and non-moving charge, and source of the magnetic field is only moving charge. As the charge is related with the electric and magnetic
Yeah, 0
field,
for me.
it was
in communication
proposed that
skills.
its nature is
Chemistry quiz 4.
electric charge,
Quiz 4, I don't have
and
anything. Yeah,
it was
communication skills,
discussed
nothing.
the electric field
Chemistry
as
also
the
zero.
result
Zero.
of the electromagnetic field
I don't
as
think
the
so. I
result
think
of
it's,
the electric charge.
I
How
think
the electric
know.
and magnetic field are
Physics is zero.
propagated in the
Anything
medium.
added for you?
No,
For
nothing.
this
I
purpose,
checked
it
at the beginning of the
was
class.
So how
made
much is it added?
Nothing is
the
added.
Maxwell theory of the electromagnetic radiation, according which electromagnetic fields is
Why
propagated
our
in the
papers
medium by two perpendicular waves.
Why is our
One
group
wave
member?
describes, in the case
the most
blue,
active
the
Oh my God.
alteration of the
How much marks do you have
oscillating
in chemistry?
electric vector
13, you?
strength of the
13?
electric field, and the perpendicular red wave describes the oscillation of the strength of the magnetic field. They are the transverse wave because they are propagating in the direction perpendicular to the vector's oscillation. In the difference of the mechanical waves, the electromagnetic waves can be propagated not only in the discrete medium, but also in the vacuum, and they are propagated with a very high speed. The speed of this wave propagation in vacuum is 300,000 kilometers per second, and in water it is 226,000 kilometers per second. In glass and diamond it is lower. These waves are characterized by all parameters which was characterized the mechanical wave. There are wavelength, frequency, amplitude, period, and they have the all property which we discussed from the mechanical waves. There are the diffraction, interference, the refraction, and polarization. This material you have to study for the next week. Is this clear?
Yeah.
So, this week you have to pass the electricity and part of the magnetism. For the next week, but I ask you to study this for the lecture, because you will not understand the next lecture. You have to study the magnetism by end and electromagnetic waves up to the photoelectric effect. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Please send me your mails and I will send the presentation and questionnaire. And please, there are 2 or 3 weeks by the end of the semester. Please study. In other case, you will not able to attend the exam. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
Family is my lover.